Good evening. My name is Megha, and my team and I at Bridge Consulting address the question of how to estimate the value of a customer in the loyalty program, identify the most valuable customers, and predict if a customer will churn. We divided this management decision problem into 4 research questions to conduct an in-depth analysis and propose recommendations to boost the performance of our client's business. We will now take you through our findings and implications. The first research question looked at how to estimate the value of a customer in the loyalty program, for which we defined the term valuable to refer to customers who engaged with the loyalty program by not only making purchases, but also accumulating points, and then moving to the final stage of the cycle of engagement by redeeming points. We assumed that customers who accumulated points would also redeem them in order to reap the rewards of participating in the loyalty program. However, our findings actually revealed that out of the customers who accumulated points, only 20% of them actually redeemed points and moved to the final stage of the engagement cycle by redeeming them. Additionally, for each unique member ID, we compared points redeemed to points accumulated, allowing us to calculate a point redemption ratio for each customer. Based on this ratio, we were able to create a ranking order of customers and compare their relative value. Customers with higher ratios represented greater involvement in the loyalty program, and thus these customers were deemed to be more valuable. Descriptive statistics were also conducted for this segment of most valuable customers, which gave insight into the demographic characteristics which were shared by this group of most valuable customers. Based on the analysis conducted, we know that only 20% of customers who accumulated points in the loyalty program actually proceeded to redeeming these points. So how can we engage the remaining 80% of customers so that they can also add value? As a business manager, targeted marketing communications can be utilized, such as personal emails, to increase the lower redemption ratios by encouraging customers who have accumulated points to make further visits to the merchant stores and redeem their points. In addition to targeted marketing communications, setting up a formal customer feedback and complaint mechanism can be a channel to communicate with customers and obtain feedback from them to understand the reasons why customers are becoming disengaged with the program and not completing the cycle of engagement, as customers may still be shopping at the merchant stores but simply not participating in the loyalty program by accumulating and redeeming points. So it's important to understand why. Lastly, as descriptive statistics indicated that 67% of valuable customers were from race 1, there is a notable skew towards customers from this race. Hence, it would be beneficial to conduct further market research into geographical regions which have a high population of residents belonging to race 1, and targeting these suburban areas through methods such as heavy advertising, since these customers are more likely to be engaged with the loyalty program and generate value as key participants in the program. I will now pass on to Cassie, who will take you through research question 2.
Moving on, our second research question is, what is the monetary and non-monetary value of each customer within the 1-year period as predicted by the recency, frequency and monetary model and the net promoter score, which we refer to as the RFM and NPS respectively. This value was assessed by measuring monetary value by the RFM and non-monetary value by the NPS. Through this, we assume that those customers that purchased the most recently, very frequently and most monetarily would likely to be very satisfied with the program and therefore have higher individual customer advocacy. So in other words, the higher the RFM scores, the higher the NPS, hence positive correlation. So through this, we derived RFM scores and NPS for the data population, where we recognize the importance in then applying the 80-20 rule. Well, what is the 80-20 rule? The 80-20 rule will help to identify the most valuable customers, as it states that 20% of a company's customers will generate 80% of company growth, whereby this valuable 20% of customers was therefore found and through the top 20% of RFM scores. So what were our findings? Through our findings, we derived a scatter plot graph. This was found by finding the top 20% of RFM scores and plotting these scores against their respective NPS, which helped to derive this scatter plot graph. Now looking at this graph, although there is indeed a positive linear relationship between RFM and NPS, our findings still conflicted with our assumptions that NPS and RFM are positively correlated. Rather, you can see that there are evidently some outliers, where these outliers display drastically different behaviours to others within this segment, within this valuable 20 customer segment, because they showed high RFM scores but lower NPS. If, however, we were to remove these outliers, this would indeed satisfy our assumption that NPS and RFM are positively correlated, indicating the positive relationship between a customer's monetary value and their non-monetary value through them recommending and promoting the service. But of course, removing these outliers is not ideal. Rather, we should focus on these outliers, as this will help to encourage the customer advocacy. This can be done through building personalised relationships, offering favourable discounts, and building better point accumulation opportunities to encourage greater customer advocacy by encouraging them to participate more and being more activated. By doing so, this will then place the outliers within this linear relationship. As you can see, by working on these outliers, this can help to satisfy our assumption that NPS and RFM are positively correlated. Through this, we concluded that the top 20% of customers was therefore those that purchased the most recently, monetarily, and most frequently, as they are the ones that contribute the most value to merchant members' source. We also conducted descriptive statistics to this valuable 20% of customers, where we interestingly found that 58% are men, 60% are race 1, and 55% own a credit card. Moving forward, what we should do then is we should conduct further surveys to really understand these customers and what key attributes of the program are most appealing to them in order to further build on their monetary and non-monetary value.
So our third research question is, do customers who churn differ significantly to customers who do not churn on the basis of demographic and perceptual dynamics? In our finding, we were able to determine 5 key variables that decreased for those who churned compared to those who didn't. Looking at this table, we can identify them to be overall satisfaction with the program, overall satisfaction across all 4 merchants, all 3 merchants, and also Net Promoter Score. The most noticeable value in this table, however, is the 31.33% decrease in Net Promoter Score for customers who have churned compared to those who haven't. What we can conclude from this observation is that customers who churn generally have a lower Net Promoter Score because of this, they are most likely not going to recommend the service to other people. Hence, we believe that Net Promoter Score predicts churn. So, realising the importance and significance of Net Promoter Score, we decided to conduct a further analysis to understand what variables influenced it. Consequently, we were able to identify 7 variables in which we separated into 2 categories, demographical and perceptual. I will now pass on to Ukesh, who will continue with RQ4.
Thanks for that, Andrew. So these key demographic and perceptual characteristics identified, which meaningfully distinguish churners from non-churners, were used as key inputs in our final analysis in order to predict the likelihood of whether a customer will churn from your loyalty program in 2016. So the key tool that we use to gain these insights is known as a logistic regression. So the preliminary findings we gained from our first analysis revealed that having a background of race 2, a customer's overall satisfaction with the loyalty program, and a customer's particular level of satisfaction with the grocery store do not significantly influence the likelihood of a customer churning. Influential variables, we were able to run a second iteration of our analysis, which revealed some very meaningful insights that I will take you through in a moment. Please note that for the following findings, their effects involve holding the influence of all other variables as constant. So the first key finding was that a 1-unit increase in customers' satisfaction with the petrol station reduces their likelihood of churning by 48%. Key finding number 2 was that in regards to gender, men are 47% less likely to churn, in other words, remain active in 2016, than women. Key finding number 3, those customers who own a car are 30% less likely to churn than their counterparts who do not own a car. Now, key finding number 4, members whose background is race 1 are 27% less likely to churn than members whose ethnicity is either race 2 or other. Now, key finding number 5 revealed that a 1-unit increase in a customer's satisfaction with the fast food restaurant would reduce their likelihood of churning by 27%. And finally, our sixth key finding reveals that a 1 unit increase in a customer's Net Promoter Score will reduce their likelihood of churning by 23%. While these key findings provide your company with a meaningful picture of which variables significantly influence customer churn, a closer look at the customers who churn reveals that a subset of them actually happen to fall into our group that we've previously defined as being most valuable to your program. So in particular, 8% of churners have a point accumulation to redemption ratio of greater than 1, which constitutes 10% of the customers that we've defined as being loyal to your program. Further, 7.3% of customers of the top 20% of your RFM scorers also churned in 2016. From a managerial standpoint, this will require your organization to implement a variety of strategies that aim at alleviating churn amongst your valuable customers, which my colleagues Ashi and Andrew will take you through.
The findings displayed a disconnect between the customers that were most valuable to the loyalty program and those that spent the most at merchant member stores. So we believe that efforts should be focused on improving the engagement of the most monetarily valuable customers with the loyalty program. We recommend our client leverages of current digital opportunities to achieve this by developing an online platform where customers can track their points as well as purchase online. Our client can benefit from the online shopping boom by allowing customers to order groceries online prior to picking them up in store. Furthermore, our client should offer customers a variety of in-demand rewards based on the personal preferences of the top 20% of spenders in the program. Investigating particularly whether these customers prefer monetary or non-monetary rewards to maximize their engagement with the program. So by coupling reward incentives with an online platform, our client can entice top spenders into engaging further with the loyalty program. Secondly, there was a disconnect between the biggest spenders and those with the highest NPS. While the analysis showed a general trend of those top spenders being positively correlated with high NPS scores, there were outliers who showed consistently lower NPS scores compared to those with lower monetary spending. We believe it's important to encourage these large spenders to be advocates of the loyalty program, as favourable referrals act as credible testimonials, influencing customer acquisition. We believe that our client first had to improve customer satisfaction of the top 20% of spenders based on the finding that customer satisfaction was positively correlated with NPS. So we recommend that our client improves customer satisfaction through, first, creating pleasant in-store experiences which add to customer utility and enhance value for the customer. Our client should target high spenders with low NPS scores through regular discounts, promotions, and non-monetary rewards, encouraging positive word-of-mouth marketing. Secondly, our client should also determine which products and services contributed most to increasing customer satisfaction when their performance was marginally improved, and similarly looking at which attributes only dissatisfied customers when they were absent because customers expected them to be there. By understanding these attributes, merchant managers can improve their offerings and thereby improve customer satisfaction and consequently customer advocacy. Now I'll pass it on to Andrew, who will continue with the recommendations.
Our final recommendation would be to host multiple focus groups for churned customers who we have deemed to be valuable. As you see from the graphs above, some of these customers who have churned are valuable in the loyalty program or to the client for the RFM FM across all three merchants. The left graph shows that 10% of these people who have an accumulation redemption ratio have churned. The right graph shows that 7% of people who were part of the top 20% of RFM scores had also churned. As a result of these observations, we believe that it is important to reduce these percentages as it would increase customer satisfaction and responsiveness with our client. We believe that by hosting focus groups, we'll be able to establish personal relationships with customers and also grasp a better understanding of why they have churned. This research technique will also allow a client to retain their customers for longer while improving their experience overall. Together with the assistance of customers who have churned, we want to be able to develop and improve products and services. From gaining feedback from first-hand users, we'll be able to tailor our experience to match customer needs and create incentives that would be longer lasting and yet rewarding at the same time. Yes. Thank you for listening to us today. We hope that our findings and implications can help you resolve the issue. Good night.